All right, guys, good morning. Happy Monday, July 17th. Coming to you excited, coming to you full of gratitude as always, and coming to you with an abundant heart and an abundant mind. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today, but first and foremost, the session is always about you guys, about really having some clear direction on the week ahead, what you want to accomplish, what your intentions are. And I'll tell you what, you guys, when you come to these sessions, a lot of this is repetition because I believe that there is a sense of repetitious boredom that we need to get used to. And that's why you guys keep coming. For some of you, this atmosphere creates a sense of consistency. If Monday morning is the way that you start out with group coaching and helps give you a sense of accountability and a sense of consistency, then cool. There's obviously strategies and thoughts and conversations and milestones and people are sharing. There's all kinds of things to take out of this. But at the end of the day, we do this to create a routine, create consistency, and to make sure that you guys always have this to be able to hold yourself and others around you accountable. So I'm really excited about the morning. Let me look around the screen. Let me see who I have here. I'm actually going to turn it over to Sammy. Sammy, I know you're getting ready to hit the road, but Sammy, I'm going to have you bring us out on the field today. Just first and foremost, what's something that you're grateful for right now in your life and business? And let's have you send the team out on the field on this beautiful, beautiful Monday morning. Let's go.
So one thing that I'm grateful for that's on the top of my mind right now is now being, I know it's very short, but a whole week into my consistency of following up with my buyers. I feel like I was too busy trying to get more leads than to nurture what I already have pre-approved in front of me. And I'm grateful that they're still there and didn't go with another realtor.
So let me ask you that. While we're on that, did you put some better systems in place? Did you start using Follow Up Boss better? Like what changed? You said in this past week. So I'm curious. I'm sure other people are curious. What changed?
I learned that my buyers are just a little more special. They like the automated system sending them the homes, but they like when I text it to them in a list, even though half of them are the same ones they received in my automated email. They like that I do that because I just tell them like, hey, just screenshot the ones that you want to see and I'll get you some details and we can schedule something. And so, yeah, like today I got that appointment. I mean, this weekend I have two. So yeah, it's been a minute.
I love it. I love it. And if the team was to hear a sentiment from you before they go out into their week, into their battle for the week, what would you share with them?
That no matter what you're going through in life, just still wake up and get your day going. Look into your calendar or your to-do list like I do, because we're all facing a lot of life battles. Like my personal life is, if I tell you guys, like I can write a book on it, you know. Right now I'm going through something very personal with my mom and my family out there. So I just got to make sure that I'm still sane. I'm still like, you know what? I'm not going to let this stop me from waking up and going with my day. Like, I know my mom's okay. I got to keep going with my day, my to-do list, because I can't fall behind. I am my family's backup plan. So it's like, if I don't have it, they won't have it.
Wow.
And I just got to keep going. I don't have time to chill.
Without knowing the details of everything that's going on in your life, we want to send you love, light, support, encouraging words. If there's anything that you need from me, from us, let us know. So we're here for you. Appreciate you sharing. Appreciate you being open. You guys, in the last 2 weeks, unfortunately, my family experienced 4 losses. And I think that this message is right on point. And I don't want to make the mood somber. Rather, I want to make this a moment of reflection that there's people in our lives right now that simply need us. And we may not know the extent of which that they actually need us. So phone calls, just checking in with people. How you doing? Right. And I love what Sammy said. It's that, and I wrote this here. I heard this last year. I think it's really powerful. Don't automate yourself right out of a relationship. Now, there's things that you need to do on drip campaigns for long-term nurture. I understand that. But if you're actively working with a buyer or buyers, there's no reason why you are not personally checking in with them, personally sending them homes. Yes, Real Scout will send them a list, but hey, Tom, I just sent you 5 homes via Real Scout. Out of those 5 homes that you just viewed, which one of them is your favorite and which one do you want to go see today or tomorrow? Hit me back. Would love to hear from you. So it's don't automate yourself directly out of that relationship. And Sam, I think this is a really, really powerful message. I appreciate you starting this out. So you guys, let's talk a little bit about two things this morning. I want to talk about three things. It's coming down to community, trust, and it's coming down into authenticity. And you guys will hear me say this until I'm blue in the face. Once we talk about this, I'm going to turn the mic over to you guys, and I want to get very clear on what you want to accomplish, what you are committed to accomplishing this week, and making sure that no matter what stands in your way this week, you are going to achieve this. And it's just this week alone. We're not talking about anything past this week. So wrote here, I heard this amazing podcast over the weekend, and I'm a huge fan of Simon Sinek. Now, you guys know Simon Sinek, and Simon Sinek is the author of Start With Why. And I remember watching the video, Start With Why. I'm talking probably 11, 12 years ago that I first watched this video. I would watch that video over and over and over. And then he started to write books and release some books and then TED Talks and all the things that he's done since then, and coaching and so on and so forth. But he had this powerful talk, and I took some notes from it, and I want to share some of the sentiment and share some of these thoughts, because I always try to correlate all the things I'm reading and watching to you guys and how it impacts our business. And it really stood out to me. He talked about community. He says here that we're social animals, and our very survival depends on our ability to form communities and to form cultures. Obviously, we are not solo creatures. We are pack animals. And what we do is we build this environment and this tribe, so to say, of people around us. And these people that are around us, that are in our circle, that are on this call, are people that are believing in what we believe in. And I want you guys to stay here, because this is how trust is going to be formed in your business and in your life. We're not supposed to trust everybody. That's why you probably have a select few. And before I get into this conversation, I want you to share down below, in the chat below, how big is your circle? And the reason why I ask you this is because the older I get, the smaller my circles get, right? I don't need to trust everybody. I can like you and think that you're reliable, but I'll tell you what, I don't need to trust everybody, because I don't believe that I need to, because I don't believe that everyone believes in the things that I believe in. So stay with me for a moment. Before we continue on, put in the chat down below, if you're not driving, if you're in a safe place, how many people are in your circle? And you know what your circle is. I'll tell you what, mine is about, 20, 25. It's like, I have such a tight circle. As I get older, maybe mine's even lower. Look at it, 5, 3, 5. I love this. So keep the chat going. So when we're surrounded by people that believe in what we believe in, remarkable things can happen. And let's just talk about it in the context of you guys and our team and our industry and what you guys are doing and how you show up, because I've seen beautiful partnerships arise. I've seen best friends started in the last couple of years because they're both team members. And what happens is that there's this connection of that. You believe in that. I believe in that. I think that we should align. And now you've created these beautiful partnerships and friendships. So stay with me. When you surround yourself with people that believe in what you believe in, remarkable things happen and trust emerges. And trust isn't just doing what you say you'll do. Like I said before, that's called reliability, right? You can have people that are reliable in your world, but you don't necessarily trust them. They're just reliable people. I feel that we need trust. When people believe in what we believe in, we're more willing to take risk. We're more willing to experiment, which requires failure, right? We are more willing to explore and go somewhere. We are not good at everything, and we are not good by ourselves. The goal is to not fix our weaknesses, but rather amplify our own strengths. I believe that the community that you guys are building right now, it's super, super important for your development. When you look around the room, there was people that joined this team, and I can say names, but I'm not going to say names. There's people that join this team that figure that I'm just going to do this on my own, and not saying that they can't. But what happens is that it's a lonely road. And you find yourselves at times just needing people, need community, because that's part of how we are as human beings. And so what happens is that now they're around people that believe in what they believe in. And now what happens is that they start to grow. And I've seen this time in and time again in our environment. So stay with me. I want you to ask yourself, and we talk about this all the time, like, what are we in pursuit of? What are we reaching for? What are we striving for? And I want you to understand that every decision we make in our lives is a piece of communication. Every decision as individuals, every decision as our organization is our opportunity to say something about who we are and what we believe in. This is powerful beyond words to me because I truly resonated with this. This is why authenticity matters more than anything in your business. It's because why you must say and do what you actually believe is because when you say when you do what you actually believe in, these are symbols of you as a person. What happens is that when you're trying to speak in any type of falseness or something that is truly not connected with what you actually believe in, any hint from a consumer, any hint of any falsism or any hint of, you know what, I just don't believe that person, any hint of no cohesion, then cynicism is formed. This is when people say, you know what, it just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. You have to ask yourself, if you went to a homie right now and said, hey, Mitch, hey, Vernon, hey, Chris, hey, Joshua Davis, how do you want me to show up for you in your life? Like, how do you want me to look and talk and act? And like, they'll be like, what? Just be yourself, right? But then in business, we often look at our business and say, how do we want them to look at me and how should I show up for them? Rather just saying, you know what, I'm going to speak what I believe in. I'm going to be the authentic person that I am. And if you don't like me, it's okay because I'm not supposed to be for everybody. But the people that do understand me, believe in me, trust in me, will want to do business with me and grow with me. I cannot tell you how important authenticity has been, not only in my business, but building the organization. You guys, it is the cornerstone of everything that you're going to do moving forward. So if you ever find yourself in a spot where it's like, well, what do I do for this marketing? Or what do I say on my video? Or what do I do? Or how do I act when I go to these networking groups? If the center and the core of everything that you're doing is representative of your true beliefs, then nothing else matters because that's what is going to be prevalent. That's what people are going to see. That's what people are going to feel. And that's what people are going to experience. It's the moment. It's the moment when we try to be what we believe other people think that we should be and show up in the world as, when we have a disconnect. That's when we have a disconnect. So whether you are a data nerd, whether you are a comic book reader, whether you are a music junkie, whether you believe in standing up for civil rights, for liberation, whatever it is, do not try to silence yourself in hopes that other people will want to trust, like, and be with you. People are going to do business with you because they believe in what you believe in. So my message for today, and I've spent tons and tons of times this morning and last night just reading and writing about this because, you guys, it is so important that we no longer live in any type of falseness in a hint. I'm saying there can't be a hint of falseness, because the moment that there is, somebody, a consumer, will say, there's something about that I don't believe. I don't believe. And that people that are really connected with energy and vibrations will be like, there's just something off about that dude. There's just something off about that girl. Like, there's something I'm not connecting with, because that person that is conveying the message isn't connected. And I'll give you an example here. Think about Apple as a product. Most of you have, or most of you at one time in your life have used or currently own an Apple product, excuse me. If you're using a Mac right now, there's a big, beautiful Apple on the back of your computer. Oftentimes what I don't see is I don't see people putting a sticker over that beautiful logo. Why? Because that logo represents something that far surpasses technology, right? I don't disagree with me if you want, but I feel that the product is nothing about technology. When you look at all of their ad campaigns since Steve Jobs left Pixar, he came back because the company lacked innovation. Every single thing that the company spoke about never had to do anything with the technology. It was wrapped around a feeling. It was wrapped around the way it was going to change the way that we communicated for the rest of our life and bring unity amongst human beings. I think we're connected to it because it represents a purpose, a cause, a crusade. And so you have to think about your mission and your belief system in your own business. It has to have that same type of symbolic feeling, right? Whether, I don't know what the whole Apple meaning was, but what I do understand this is that we're going to challenge the status quo. We're going to think differently. We're going to be the rebels, right? That's what the whole company was founded on. That's why we take so much pride in these products. That's why we take so much pride in it. I could go with a different product, but I'm attached to the company and the feeling. So you guys, that is what I wanted to share with you. That's my thoughts. That's my sentiment. That's what I read this weekend. That's what I watched this weekend. And so I wanted to open up to you guys. Any thoughts, any contribution, any insight? Is anything going in your crazy minds this morning that you want to share, contribute, give any insight to based on any of that? And I'll let the mic just go around the room. Any thoughts, any contributions, any hands up? Going once, going twice. Let's go, Jeff.
I'll chime in. Yeah, I mean, I love Simon Sinek. I love that message. And it's funny just about the community part, because you have different communities. And I don't know if it was Simon Sinek that talked about this. I think it might have been Malcolm Gladwell. There was another great book that I read, Talking to Strangers. But, if you run into, I live in Brentwood. Of course, you run into people in Brentwood all the time. But if you're traveling the state, out of the country, and you run into someone from Brentwood or even the Bay Area, oh my gosh, the connection that you feel with that person because they're, you're in a similar community. I mean, it happens with sports, the fan base of football teams or baseball teams. It happens with, if you do a great job from a branding perspective, like with Apple. So it's just, I love that aspect of the community. And then to your point, the authenticity. I made this connection because I'm like this. Is if I don't believe in something, I cannot sell it. If I can't recruit, I can't sell a loan product. If I don't truly believe it, I'm just not a good buyer, which I guess is a good thing, ultimately. So, to your point about being authentic, being part of a community, building that trust is, and if you haven't read that other book, the Start With Why is fabulous. And then Talking to Strangers, Malcolm Gladwell talks about the different communities that are formed and how we've evolved and how we need to look at people in a different light and have more patience with people and have a certain level of trust, start with a certain level of trust, with everybody. So.
Yeah, I love it. And I'd love to hear from a couple of the people. I'll probably call on Vernon, Jeff, Chris, because you guys always have, everyone has a great contribution. I'll go to Colin too, but I want you to think about this. And we've been talking about this a lot. We talked about it last week, but I want you to think about how symbolic is your brand right now, right? Think about that. Like, what does it stand for? What do you believe in? And do other people understand what you believe in? And are you creating a following based on what you believe in? Or are you hiding behind anything? And I think it's important to really look at it and be like, damn, okay, there's times where I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't say that, or maybe I'm going to produce this because I should just probably put something out on social media. No. It's going to hurt you because it's not alignment with what you truly, truly believe in life and business. So Vernon, let's hear from you. Let's go to Chris B. Anybody else that wants to go? What's up, Maria? Good to see you. Welcome back and welcome home. Vernon, you always have great contributions, big dog. Let's hear from you. Thoughts, where your head's at.
Oh man, I think that the perspective the thought that you just presented as it pertains to what my brand says about me, I'm still fine-tuning that. It took Steve Jobs and Apple and Macintosh and all, it took them a while to get to the place that they are at in terms of what their brand signifies. Now, anyone sees an Apple iPhone, Apple Watch, Apple on the back of a laptop, there's a different perspective that's associated with it as soon as you walk in. I call it a symbol of power. And so being new into the game, I'm still crafting and honing in what my brand is symbolic of through trial and error, just exploring different aspects. But I take encouragement from this. I believe that authenticity is the purest form of energy, period, the end. And authenticity is what people actually, human beings actually connect with, right? And oftentimes in today's generation, in today's world, being authentic is frowned upon because we've got folks trying to fit a circle into a square box, right?
Mm.
But what I'm learning is that authenticity is the $1 million ticket. Because Coach, as you have been coaching us, I know for me, I pick this up all the time. Don't expect everyone to respond to everything that I post, but those that identify and connect with what I post is my audience. And so remaining authentic to self first and foremost, and really operating in that lane holistically and fully my brand will begin to take a form of its own and speak to a demographic, maybe that I didn't even intend to, but just through me being super authentic. So I'm taking that and I'm running with it.
God, I absolutely love that contribution, Vernon, because at the end of the day, that's what we have. That's our superpower, right? That's our superpower. Whoever you are on this call, if you're an introvert, if you are outspoken, if you are boisterous, if you are funny, if you are goofy, if you are quirky, whoever that is, when you're with your homies, like your friends take you as you are. What do they want from you? They just want you to be yourself. They just want you to be yourself. You don't have to show up for them. You just be yourself. There's probably friends that you have right now that you can go 4 or 5 years, 3 years, not see, not talk to, and then you see them and it's just, you chop it right up, right? You chop it up like, oh my God, it's so good to see you, right? You've been, it's just, you're just so comfortable being yourself. And the reason why I want to share this message with you is because I want that for you as you go into this week, as you go into your business, as you look at your business, your 3-year, your 5-year, your 10-year plan. How much of you is going to be represented in what you are creating? And there needs to be that sense of, wow, like I'm building something iconic here. I'm building something that is symbolic here. So I appreciate your sentiment. I'm going to come to Jeff in a second. I'm going to go to Chris. I'm going to go to Ashley. She had her hand up, and I'll come to Colin. Thoughts? Let's hear from you, Ashley. I appreciate your big smile this morning. What's up?
Good morning. So I put it up and then I put it back down because I was scared. Because whenever you're being vulnerable, it's scary. But I did want to share my lesson in authenticity. If you ask any other loan officer, they're going to say if you put out things on social media, you want to put out things that are for high income people, because then the amount of people that come to you are more likely to be high income. You want to talk about high income products. You want to put that message out there. But for me, my story, it doesn't match with who I am. There was a time in my life where I lived in my car. So my purpose is that I want to help people genuinely. Some people say that and they're not really real about it. I lived in my car. I want to help people. I was able to buy 2 houses. I was able to become a branch manager of a bank. I got a Series 7 license. I did all of these things. And my purpose now is to turn around, like Michelle Obama says, turn around, open that door up and allow other people to walk through that door. So I can intentionally put some things out there, but it's not as authentic. It's not as real as if I was truly being myself, just telling people, hey, I'm here to help you. I'll work with you for a 6-month plan. I'll work with you for a 2-month plan. And that is real for me. And for me, it's worked. I'm in the top 10, top 5 right now in our company because I have been trying to help people for the last 3 years. And for some people, the other strategy works. For me, being myself and truly doing the things that I want to do, that's been life-changing for me. So love the message.
I love this, you guys. People want to do business with people that believe in things that they believe in. Now, not all of our values are going to align, but what happens is that we have similar beliefs. And like I said early on in the conversation, this is how trust is formed. This is how trust is formed. When you look around at this room, there's people that you didn't know, but you might hear what a JESS BLING or Dominique starts to share, a Rose starts to share, a Dana starts to share, and be like, whoa, wait a minute. That's what I believe in. Girl, let's connect. I was looking for somebody like you that is in alignment with the way that I believe. And guess what happens? there's like this, I got goosebumps talking about this. Now there's this energy that is created because someone aligned with something that you believed in. You guys, I cannot tell you how powerful this is for your business and for your life. So let's continue this conversation. I'll go to Jeff in a second between sets, but before I get to Jeff, I'll go to Chris, and then Jeff, you'll be on deck. Bro, I loved seeing baby boy swim, by the way. But Chris B, let's hear from you. Thoughts, contributions, insights on this conversation. And I had no idea that this is where the conversation was going to go.
Yeah. For me, that's one of the big, reasons. That's one of the big ways you get consistency in this business is unwavering authenticity. That's how you develop the referrals down the road. That's how people have raving fans about you and let people know that, man, yeah, you got to talk to Chris. He's genuine. Talk to him if you want to buy a house. If you compromise your authenticity and what you truly believe in just to people please, or if you have a big listing agreement and you know exactly you shouldn't have priced that home that high just to satisfy your seller, and you go against what you believe in, it's going to hurt you in the long run. It's better that you just stick to your game plan of what you truly believe in and bring your clients to your side and convince them of that, instead of having to people please and let them know, okay, I'll list their house for 50 grand more than this just to make them happy. I had a listing that I actually priced it 30 grand higher than what I wanted to. And I knew I shouldn't have, but like this client was like this big boss that owned like this Muslim dating website, and she had a ton of money. And she kind of like, no, I want to do this, blah, blah, blah. And she kind of strong-armed me. And I'm the type that's like, no, we got to do it this way. I've always been like that. But for this one situation, I compromised what I believed in. And guess what? It sat. When we got one offer, it backed out. We did a price reduction recently, and I should get an offer. And now, and then she tried to tell me that, this and that. And I stuck to my gun and told her, I told you that we had a price at this. And now here's where we're at. And it kind of had her realize, you did tell me that. And then now she, now she just listens to me, and, we'll get it sold. And I have a listing presentation coming up for another property. I'm sticking to my guns. This is what I believe in. This is what I authentically from the heart feel you should do, follow my game plan. When you compromise from being your genuine self in any aspect, people smell BS, people people know what fake is. We know what fake is. I don't mess with anybody if I got a hint of a fake vibe. It's like, you're cut off. I already know on top of my head when I meet you the first 30 minutes, I'm never going to invite you to my house. I ain't messing with you. You're not going to be in my circle. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. So it's like, everybody got to be genuine, authentic, even if people are kind of pressuring you to not be because of people pleasing. That's a big deal for all the young new people here. Just keep it 100 with everybody. And sometimes you might not have to take deals, because they're not following what you believe in. And that's okay, because you're going to attract your tribe that's going to bring you referrals down the road. And, unwavering authenticity is the secret formula to consistency in this business, is one of the main things that I see.
Man, I love it. I love it. And once again, to go back to this, at the slightest hit of incongruency, cynicism is formed, right? You'll see it. And for all the people that are dating in the world, man, I feel for you, because I couldn't understand what like that is like, because there's so much fakeness out there in the fucking dating world. I can imagine. I'm just glad to have found that real person. I could just be myself. She could be herself. So Chris, always dropping bombs. Let's go around the room. I have a couple other hands up. Jeff, I want to make sure you got a moment, bro, or should I catch you in between? All right, Jeff, let's hear from you, big dog. You always have something great. And I wrote here, when Chris was talking, I remember getting a shirt on Instagram, like unapologetically dope, right? Unapologetically dope. And I heard people say this. I think I heard Jess say this last week, but it's just like, be that person, right? Be unapologetically dope. And if somebody wants to judge you for that and not do business, then peace out. There's a million other buyers out there, a million other sellers out there. Jeff Phillips, let's hear from you.
Yes. Authenticity has always been the name of the game for me. And you know it from the beginning. A lot of you guys didn't really, some of you guys knew me when I had the fro, and it was #follow the fro. But it was it was a scary moment for me to be like, all right, there was deeper reasons why I grew the fro. There was two. I wanted to I had one last time, like, all right, let me grow some hair. I don't know when I'm going to lose it. One, But also too, when COVID happened, like my son was born with one kidney. So they told us from the beginning, like, hey, fevers and things like that are going to be very serious for him. So you guys got to take those serious whenever he has one. My daughter has asthma. So it was like, hey, I understand, I hear both sides about what COVID is and what COVID isn't, but I was like, I got to think of myself as a dad. If I bring this back home to them and then they get affected by it and then they're in the hospital, like I can't live with myself knowing that I was selfish enough not to just not go get a haircut for a while because I was too scared to think about what other people were going to think of me. But also in that power, when I would walk around with my fro and walk around with my authentic self, but also walk around in my community, I had a life like, bro, that's dope. All right, look, this is what you got to do. You got to do hashtag follow the fro and ooh, and it just kept growing and kept growing. And then the people's agent part, me and Colin just talked about this recently, like basically about how it has a deeper meaning to me. Like I am very much an advocate for the people, for the Black Panther Party, for the movement, for people's rights. So I can't not be that. And Jeff said something great earlier. I can't sell what I don't believe in. I once got hired at Sears to sell washers and dryers. They said, you can make doctor money here. And it was true. I saw people making $200,000 there. I could not sell shit because I could not believe in it. But they moved me over to the fitness department. And I was making more money than some of the people that were over there trying to think that they were going to make $200,000, but not believing in it because I knew fitness was my thing. I would write people plans and then I would follow up with them. Hey, I want to make sure that this Nordic track doesn't just become a coat closet for you. So I'm going to write you down a fitness plan for the next 30 days, but it was customer experience. So walk in your purpose, y'all. Like walk in your true authentic self and don't be afraid of it. If you know me online, I say, I don't talk politics. I talk perspective because people believe, hey, look it. I have a different thought process, so we can't talk. We can't engage in this conversation. No. I'm not talking politics with you. I'm talking perspective. I want to hear your perspective as a human being. And that has helped me break down a lot of barriers.
God, I mean, incredible, man. And I love it. And I remember, so at first, all I saw was the hair, right? It's like, it's hard not to, it'd fill up his whole screen, right? It's like, at first I saw just the hair. And then he told me the meaning and the purpose behind the hair. And I was like, wow. And it wasn't just the hair. Like that was, it was a representative of it. It was identifiable, but he is still the people's agent. He is still a man of the people, minus the hair. So Jeff, I appreciate it. And by the way, you probably are due for a haircut. But I'm just saying, I love you, bro.
Tomorrow. It's all lined up.
I absolutely am. Like, are you growing it back, bro? All right, let's go. Let's go, Cristina, Vernon, Jess, Colin. I don't want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Let's go, Cristina, Jess, Vernon. Let's go, and then Colin. Sorry.
Hi, guys. So yeah, I think one thing big, kind of adding what Ashley was saying regarding like in the lending world, a lot of clients I would talk to, they would feel so intimidated, or maybe they spoke to another lender and they're like, this person like looked at my tax returns, they looked at my bank statements, and they made me feel like crap. They were like, what am I doing with my money? Like, you're not ready to buy a house. And I think for myself, I would just listen to that. Like, how would I feel if here I am basically getting naked in front of someone, showing them my, you know how much money I make, you know what my credit score is, you know what I'm spending on the daily on my bank statements. And if someone were to come to me and talk down to me and make me feel like crap, of course, I'm going to want to crawl back into a hole and be like, oh God, I don't think I can buy then. Like, maybe I can't buy. And so when I have my buyer consultations and I talk to clients, and even like at an open house, it's just, I tell them, hey, like, let's work this out. If you're not ready now, we're going to get you on a 6-month plan or a 3-month plan. We're going to get you ready so that you know what the numbers are, you know what you can afford to move forward. And when I kept pushing that with clients and speaking in that way and making them feel like I'm on their team and I'm not like pointing this finger at them, they're like, okay, like they put their guard down. They started to feel comfortable. They can ask me the questions that sometimes I think you guys will see. A client will go to the realtor and ask a financial question because they're scared to ask us. And I would sometimes see that. And so I circle back to the client. I'm like, hey, like, I'm here to help you. Like, what are maybe something that is bothering you, or what is something you're not understanding? And then they would be like, okay, well, I really didn't know what you meant by buying down the rate. Oh, okay, no problem. Let me explain it. And then I would give them the breakdown. And they'd be like, okay, I get it. And then they start to just become more vulnerable with you and build that trust, because then they start to say, okay, I can ask her these questions. She's not going to make me feel stupid. And it's building that trust, and they feel like they can talk to you, where then you'll create these long lasting relationships that even maybe if a client, you know, thought they weren't ready, we've had clients where after having that heart to heart conversation, they buy within 30 days. And it's sometimes that let's just break it down and building that trust and making them feel more comfortable with you, and making that process just a lot more less intimidating.
Wow. God, I love this. I love this. And you know, you guys, you don't have to be here, but I really appreciate our lender partners coming on here. And listen, what I've seen from you guys being here, and anybody that I invite to come here, there's just this level of like selflessness. What I mean is that you guys aren't here. And do you hope to maybe serve some of the agents on the call? Absolutely. But you're like here contributing real stuff that is empowering to other people. And then based on that belief system, somebody on the call will probably be like, wow, I believe in what she believes in. Plus she is so knowledgeable about the game. That's someone I want to do business with. So it's like this conversation that you hear from Ashley and from Cristina and from Jeff, it's in direct alignment, because now you're like, wow, they believe in what I believe in. I would love to do a deal with somebody like that versus some lender that I don't even have a connection with and have no idea on how they actually operate in this world. So Cristina, really powerful. Let's go to Jess and let's go to Vernon. Jess, what's on your mind? Contributions, thoughts? I love seeing the evolution of the hair in just the last 41 minutes. So let's hear from you.
You like closure. I do too. No, this message came right on time, and I don't want to like put thoughts into people's heads, but like I was going to make it a conscious point after my contributions last week to talk less and like contribute less and just absorb, because I felt like, wow, you talk a lot. You're always sharing stuff. You always got something to say. And a part of me wanted to, in a sense, bring myself down. And I wasn't going to say shit. This whole, like, every time I talk, I get emotional, and it's so damn hard. And I think it's just because of this evolution that's happening. But I just want to thank you so much for this meeting and for this topic, because I shouldn't dim myself down. And I think it triggers something from when I was a kid of my ADHD back then and talking too much and distracting people. And anyway, so thank you for this. I don't want to stop contributing, but I do want to hear what people have to say. So I'm trying to find a balance, because I was low-key a little embarrassed too, because my business isn't where I want it to be. I've had many successful years in real estate, and this is probably my second to slowest. And I think it's because of everything that's happening. But a part of me, and maybe it's imposter syndrome, maybe it's, again, being triggered from my past, but I just didn't feel like I had the credentials in this current time to talk and share as much. And I feel like your messaging was confirmation that I need to battle through the discomfort of those thoughts and continue to contribute, because you call it what you want. Maybe it's the devil fucking with my mind right now because of everything that's going on with me. But yeah.
I'm going to speak, and I'm going to keep it real as penitentiary steel. And that's what you guys can always expect from me. I appreciate when you contribute. And if you were not on point, I would let you know. If you were long-winded, I would let you know. But the point is that I love the contributions, because they're always heartfelt, and there's always a little bit of emotion. There's always a little bit of fire. There's always a lot of feistiness behind it. And I actually appreciate that. And I'm just speaking for myself, but I see a lot of this on the screen. I have people posting in the comments. And so remember this. Every decision we make in our lives is a piece of communication. Every decision as individuals or as an organization is our opportunity to say something about who we are and what we believe in, right? And so look at these opportunities, because Jess, you've formed partnerships from these calls. You've formed sisterhood from this call, right? And
my twin.
yeah, brother. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So I think that beautiful things have came from you speaking up, grabbing the mic, and trust me, This is a nerve-wracking environment. And I always tell people, if you're not talking on these calls, we always have our contributors, and maybe I can do a better opportunity of getting around the room, but you guys throw your hat out there, throw your name out there, throw your hand up, get involved in the conversation, because this is not only for these calls, this is building your communication skills at a very, very high level, because public speaking, and this is public speaking, is so scary for most people. So I appreciate the thoughts. I appreciate the contribution. Let's go Vernon, then we'll go Colin, then we'll come right back to Jeff, and we'll start to talk about your guys' goals for the week. Vernon, let's hear from you.
Coach, I don't think there's another subject matter to have a conversation about in this team meeting. That's just my feedback here. Feedback to you. Just swimming in the ocean of authenticity it sounds like, and it feels like there's no other space to be in. So the first thing I want to say is to my twin, Jess, don't you dare dumb down your fire, your flow, your energy for no fucking body on this call or on this planet, for that matter. I love you, you know that, and I appreciate all of your contributions. And I just want to encourage everyone on this call. It looks like there's 47 of us on this call. We all have shit that we've been through, okay? Our journey, whether it's being homeless, sleeping in your car, sitting in a 4x7 prison cell for multiple calendars, whatever your scenario is, it is your story. Own your shit, rock that shit. You know, it takes mess to create a message. You put shit on a plant in the form of fertilizer in order for it to bloom and blossom and become fruitful, right? So there is no message without the mess, okay? And so I have become comfortable with owning my shit, my story, the ups and the downs, the ins and the outs, and shifting that and transforming that into an experience of vibrance, victory, and fucking fire, right? So there people attract to that because there's only one Vernon, there's only one Elias, there's only one Dominique, there's only one Jess, there's only one Jeff, there's only one of you, there's only one Maria. And the world is magnetic to those who operate from an authentic space. Fuck a judgment, fuck a category, be you, be fast, be authentic, and just be unapologetically dope. That's all I got. I'm back on mute. Marty, peace out.
I mean, I'm just looking around, man, and like checking the vibe of the room and like seeing everyone's thoughts. Like I've never heard this in my entire existence of reading and being about human development. I've never heard the without the mess, there's no message, or however you put that. That was powerful. I've never heard that in my entire existence. Man, I absolutely love this conversation. I had no idea where this was going to go. Maria, it's good to see you. Aloha, welcome home. I know that you've been on a mission. You've been doing things. You've been walking in your purpose and doing the things that you truly believe in. So hello. Hi. What's your thoughts?
Aloha, mi familia, mi ohana. That's my ohana. Y'all my ohana. Y'all my family. Woo! What a message to come back to on a Monday after being gone almost 3 weeks. Praise God. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. I just want to say first off, Jess, girl, you and me, the same thing. I'm just going to say I have the same feeling. A lot of times I don't want to raise my hand. I don't even want to come to the meetings. But guess what? That is a lie from the pit of hell. That's from the lie from the enemy trying to keep you from sharing your message, because I guarantee you there is someone on this call that needs to hear what you have to say, what Vernon has to say, what Jeff has to say, what I have to say. There is a mess. There's a message in our mess. Or I hear all the time in church, there is no testimony without a test. So share your light. We all need to see all the light that's going on. And as Elias mentioned, you know, I'm living out my mission. And so just words to those that are here, when you figure out your purpose, all this other stuff doesn't matter, because when you're in alignment, you walk in that. Like if your purpose is to help others have financial independence, but make it more specific, right? So my purpose was to show the love of Christ everywhere I go, plain and simple. I worked with someone and they were like, Maria, you sell homes and you minister to the homeless. You need to combine them two, because I felt like I wasn't walking. I was struggling. Like financially, I was over here selling houses, but I was like, how can I live out my purpose to help the homeless, to love on people? And he's the one that came up with, you're a realtor on a mission. And I was like, what? Oh, oh. So now every day, like every minute, I always ask, am I on my mission? Like, what am I doing today that allows me to live in my mission, my purpose? And if it's not in alignment, it's got to go. And that goes back to the people that don't follow me, don't like me, think I'm too loud. Hello, I'm Puerto Rican. Excuse me. What Puerto Ricans do you know? You know, the whole set, that t-shirt says, I'm not shouting, I'm Puerto Rican. Duh. Those are not your people. Though literally, those are not your people. But it took me a long time to get here because I was people pleasing, like Chris said. I was like, oh my God, they don't want to be a part of my life. Boy, bye. That's the same thing in the dating world, Elias. Thank you. I will not dumb down. I will not shine less. Hello, I was married to someone who was like, oh, I like your bright and shiny star. Oh, now we married? That can't happen. No, 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 no. But it took me a long time to get here. So I share this advice to a woman who's getting ready to celebrate her big birthday. Do you be, I have a sign here that says, be you, be true, be bold. That's it. Be you, but fast. Whatever it is, live your purpose and live your life according to what you were called to do. Because I'm telling you right now, you'll be happier. You'll be blessed. You'll wake up smiling every day because you know you're living your life. You're not living someone else's life for you. Amen. Okay, that's it for a Monday motivation.
I missed you.
Amen.
I'm excited to have you back. I'm excited to hop back on our weekly coaching calls. And so, Maria, good to see you. Colin Elbasani, you've had your hand up for a moment, brother. What's your contributions, thoughts, or insights?
Okay, and I'm going to take a minute to talk about this.
So
I was on the Daily Huddle with Karina, and somehow I came on for the purpose of going over compliance issues, and then our conversation drifted to how there are so many things we can't say anymore, like we can't talk about master bedrooms. These are now primary bedrooms. I didn't know we can't talk about Jack and Jill's bathrooms anymore. Now they're connecting bathrooms. Of course, walk score, you see it on Zillow and elsewhere, but we can't talk about walking distance because it's ableist. There are so many things that I feel are a little bit ridiculous. And part of me wants to court controversy and do a comedic skit about some of these issues. I think several coaching sessions ago, you talked about, hey guys, if you want to talk about something controversial, if you have feelings on gun rights, don't hold back. But then there's a big part of me, Elias, that the older I get, the more risk averse I am. And, I want to really express how I feel about some hot button topics. But at the same time, we don't want to alienate folks. So I think it's tough because, you want to touch on issues that you have opinions on, but how do you couch what you say? How do you constrain yourself and be safe? I mean, I'd love to be that authentic, but you see where I'm coming from?
yeah, and I appreciate what Cortez said. Your messaging and what people are going to connect with, it's not designed for everyone. 33% of people are actually going to connect with the words that you say, Colin. So we're not trying to please everyone. Obviously, we want to be compliant and not use certain words. However, there's a sense of sensitivity that we need to be aware of with human beings and what we're more conscious of. However, there's some things I totally disagree with. No matter what happens in the world, no matter how much empowerment there is and how much we choose to identify with whatever we identify with, I'll never stop opening a door for a lady. Never. I'll never walk on the inside of the sidewalk. I'll always walk on the outside. I'll always grab the groceries and bring them in. Is that sexism? No, that's part of who I am. And so if you don't like it and you think that you disagree with me, then disagree with me, but don't be disrespectful. And if you want to unfollow me, then unfollow me. But that's things that I believe in. So it's like, I understand where we are as a society, but I also have my principles and things that I have my opinion on. That's my opinion. I'll never do that. Why though? Why? It has nothing to do with identification of who we are as people. It has everything to do with being raised by my mom and my sister, right? We're at Costco the other day, $500 at Costco. Then we go to the grocery store, $300 at Costco. You guys know that's Sunday or Saturday. My lady didn't put a single thing on the conveyor. When we got home, it's hot out. She goes inside. I bring everything in. It's unspoken. It's unspoken. So it's stuff like that, Colin. Feel free to speak your mind about things as long as we're not disrespecting. You're entitled to that. You're entitled to that. Especially growing up in Berkeley. Especially growing up in Berkeley, where things are even more sensitive, right?
Well,
Like
yeah, and before I move on, I mean, I think that something like not being able to refer to walk score is a little bit extreme if you're going to call it ableist. And I'm coming from a background where, and I shouldn't even have to say this, it shouldn't matter where I'm coming from, but I used to take care of my best friend's dad who had muscular dystrophy. He's more than wheelchair bound. He can't move anything. My cousin Barry, my only first cousin on my dad's side, jumps off the shallow end of a swimming pool, quadriplegic. He can kind of do this with his hands. So I'm not oblivious to these issues, but I think we've kind of gone off the deep end with, so we can't say Jack and Jill sing. Come on,
I personally think videos and stuff like that, like here, when we think about content, entertainment, education, motivational and inspirational content that challenges thought and then content that shares opinions. Hey, whether or not people agree with it or not, I don't really care. I'm not disrespecting anybody. I'm challenging the way that you're thinking, and I'm sharing my opinion. If you don't like
any
it,
agent, I'm going now, but if any agent on this call is interested in maybe creating a skit that touches on these controversial things, hit me up. We can talk about it.
Beautiful. I love it, Colin. Jeff, let's go back to you. Your chest is looking yoked, big dog. Appreciate you. Let's go back to you.
Man, trying to be Cancun ready. But
That's right.
I wanted to go back to what Jess was saying, and just let her know, like, don't do that. Contribute. I felt the same way. Elias, no, I've been here since day one, A1, the first, when it was 12 people on this call. I was still here, and yeah, exactly. It was a thought like, hey guys, you think if we get together Monday, Wednesday, Friday and kind of talk about the market and things like that, like, hell yeah. And I used to think the same thing, because like Elias can always count on me, like, all right, nobody's raising their hand. Jeff, what do you got to say? And throwing me an alley-oop. But I used to always think like, well, maybe I'm contributing too much. And I used to, in the same concept in school, I was the same way. Like, if no one's raising their hand, okay, hey, hi, how you doing? I'll raise my hand. Don't dim your light, because there's so many times through these years that I've gotten a message like, Jeff, thank you so much for saying that. And it wasn't even me thinking about, oh, maybe this is going to impact somebody. It was just me speaking from the heart and just saying something like, oh yeah, this and this on the topic. And then Ophelia hit me like, oh yeah, I appreciate that you said that, because it inspired me to do this and this. And you don't know who you're going to inspire when you shine your light. Just like when you go out there and you walk in your purpose, there's somebody that you're going to give liberation to, that's going to be able to say, hey, look, let me go walk in my purpose now. Thank you so much. So never dim your light. Never say, oh, maybe I'm contributing too much. Of course, give room for people. I had to take the same stance, like, all right, I'm gonna let some people in there and I'm gonna hop in, when you feel compelled to, when the spirit moves you, like Maria has talked about with church, like when that spirit moves you and it's in you to talk. And the people that are not raising their hand because they are nervous and they are scared, and that spirit is moving you to talk, but you haven't raised your hand, I'm telling you the same thing. Go ahead and speak. Speak your truth, speak your purpose. You are in a place of love. You are in a place where people are going. I'm in a gym right now where everybody's looking at me talking to a phone, and I don't give a shit, because I know that I'm talking to somebody on this call that may need to hear it. So if you get moved by the spirit to raise your hand, raise your hand. I promise you're in a place of love and community.
God, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think as we grow in this group, you guys, maybe it's time that we start passing the mic, and meaning that if Vernon says something, he says, you know what? I'm going to pass the mic over to Latoya. Latoya says something and Latoya says, you know what? I'm going to pass the mic over to Wanda Haynes. Like, I think it's powerful for us to be able to say, you know what? There's people on this call that I know have a cause, a voice, a belief in something. And listen, you're a public figure. This is an opportunity for you to speak publicly and refine and communicate what you truly, truly believe in. And I want to send you guys off with this message today. If you're struggling with what to create, what to post, what to say, what to do, just ask yourself, what do I truly, truly believe in? And can I create something today that's in alignment with what I believe in? That should be easy. But if you don't know what you believe in, why you're doing this, and what you were in pursuit of, then you should probably just start there. Then all things after that are in alignment with that. All things are in alignment with that. You guys are building an identity, building a cause, and building a brand that is 100% your responsibility. We're here in the background to support your journey, but we're here to support you on the path to where you're already going. I'm here to help you refine some things, to be a mirror sometimes, to be a reflection, to be a hard conversation, but you should already be on a journey and be compelled and pulled by something. I'm just here for support. I'm here for some love. And like I said, I'm here for some tough conversations along the way. So guys, Monday is always about mindset, motivation, and intention. Being clear. I want to make sure that you guys have clarity on this beautiful, beautiful Monday morning, and that you set out your path this week to say, you know what, whatever I'm going to set out to achieve, how many calls, conversations, whatever it is, I'm going to do that because I truly, truly believe in the person that I'm becoming. Success is this. Success is for those that choose to show up. And it's that simple. Show up for yourself today. Show up for yourself this week. Show up for others. And I promise you, great things will come. It's when you try to grow in isolation, when you don't show up, when you don't make the calls, when you don't post the content, when you don't send the emails, when you don't send the text messages, that's when you are going to find yourself in a really, really tough situation in 6 months from now. So you guys, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for being on. And thank you for all of the contributions. You guys, I was, as you guys know, 2 pages of notes, and I write every single morning just to make sure that we can have a full stream of consciousness. And I tell you what, today I think that we truly accomplished this true stream of consciousness. So thank you for all of your contributions, for our team members, for our guests, for the people that are here for their very first time. Wednesday, you guys, I am taking the day off. There is no group coaching on Wednesday because my mom is coming into town. She just lost her dad. And so we're just going to spend some time. Papa passed, and I haven't been able to see my mom since Papa passed. So we're going to spend some time. We're going to eat some good food. We're going to chill. We're going to relax, and we're absolutely going to have no plans at all. But that's it. I'm going to spend some time with mom. So Wednesday, no group coaching. So you guys, I appreciate you. And as always, keep it moving towards your dreams, your goals, and your vision. Have an amazing, amazing week. Peace. Peace.